Hello, world.
Hello, hello.
We are back. I am Crownson's Corner, co-host Hollywood Betty. This is the Healing Chefs podcast. Healing Chefs, chef coming from the word chief, chief meaning leader, meaning someone who runs their shit. No. So everybody that we have on here, we believe is a leader in their own way. Leader, chief, chef. Today's chef is Budtender Diaries. And do you want to tell them your government?
We'll go with Shannon. Yeah, I can give it out. Budtender Diaries. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming. Excited for this. We've talked a couple times, and I'm glad you're finally here. So
yeah, no, I'm excited.
Hell yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and if you could tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we jump into the journey of things. What is it that you do?
I am a bartender for Yilo. I work at the Arcadia store at 44th and Thomas. I've been with the company now for 3 years. I've been doing all kinds of different things. I'm starting to dabble into some of the media aspect. I'm very green at that, so I'm willing to learn. So I'm starting to learn some of the media stuff.
Nice.
Which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun. I had to start somewhere too. I didn't have anything. I hadn't any idea what I was doing, but
I was shocked I even got hired.
Nice.
Because I had a B12 deficiency, and it really affected me neurologically and physically. I was like, how did I even get a sentence together to even get that far? But I bullshitted my way through. Somehow, some way, got hired.
That's how we all do it.
It was because recreational just hit. They were just desperate for bodies. And now...
Hey.
I'm here.
That's a solution to a problem. And then they had a need and you filled the spot. That's whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've bullshitted my way into a bunch of jobs and told them I know how to do so much shit. And then I'm like, I get in there, I'm like, all right.
Here we go. The learning starts.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing. I got it. But no, thank you for sharing that. So we'll go ahead and jump into our first segment, which is Cannabis Journey. Water, drink it. All right. There's something on the desk here we'll address later. So Cannabis Journey is all about how you yourself found cannabis and how you're with and where you're at with it now. I started with smoking flower and stuff like that. Some people started smoking like the really nice stuff or whatever. How did you start?
It definitely wasn't the really nice stuff. This was back in the 90s, so that should say it all right there. Seeded to hell. Luckily, I worked at McDonald's, and I would just like get one of those trays and just tap it, get all the seeds to go down, and so I was the genius in my friend group.
Yeah, I know that feeling well, because I was like, guys, what if you just did this? And they're like, holy shit. Yeah, you guys are breaking it up for now.
I'll seed it. Not a problem.
That was crazy. No, that's dope.
So yeah, it was back in the 90s. A lot of seeds wasn't really top quality. I would have to say, I'm from New Jersey, so I would have to say it was like 2003-ish where the concentrate started coming in.
Okay.
But it was so filled with butanes because who knew what the hell they were doing. So
you barely put it into the banger and it lights on fire.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was once, and then I was like, nah. Like I didn't know about the butanes until I hit it, and then I tasted it, and I was like, oh shit,
that's a chemical.
This is disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh no. Yeah. I don't know if I feel for you. I've smoked some shit in my life, but I don't think I ever got anything with like butane. But also I didn't see constant. You said what? When? 2000 what?
3? Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
It really was early like that one. Like
so
that
2003
concentrate, the booth concentrate.
I didn't see any of that until way after I got out of the Army, concentrates for myself. So that's new to me.
Yeah. The origination is not pretty.
Oh my God, I'm sure that was, holy gosh.
I think because a lot of people were going to Temple Med and stuff, so a lot of chemists and stuff like that from some of the bigger schools that I was close to were kind of the ones producing. Just like a lot of people were taking pharmacology so they could learn how to make MDMA. And so they learned how to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow.
That's wild. Yeah, that's wild because there had to be a lot of explosions and shit too.
Oh, there was. I mean, I lived in an apartment and there was a fire from it. Luckily, it didn't affect me, but the other side of the building, yeah.
That's crazy because then I joined the army about 2003. Yeah, that's when I joined the army. That's wild. People were lighting their faces on fire.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll go to Iraq. No, I didn't know about that, and that's crazy because I also I'm partially from Missouri, so and that's where like live resin was like maybe pushed the most. If not, he OG Yield says that a lot of people say that he created it, and it could be it, but there's probably somebody somewhere that did it by themselves and didn't tell anybody. But you know what I mean. But for the most part, he's the OG Yields. If you look him up on Instagram and whatnot, they're the originators of live resin. So that's a cool thing to find out.
It's come a long way.
We went 2000. Okay, so we're with you. 2003, lighting your face on fire.
And then I would have to say, really, when I started getting into the heart of it, I moved out here in 2016. Because I've been here for 8 years ish. I was taking so many narcotics prescribed, not illegal, but my friends were dying, and it really wasn't fully helping with the pain. And my mom's been out here since 2000. So I was like, Mom, I'm coming.
Yeah.
And within the first week, I had my medical card. I got my medical card with a paper driver's license. I was buying weed with a paper marijuana card, and it was just so wild. I was going around town to see what I could do with my paper ID. I was buying liquor. I was buying cigarettes. I was just really going out, and I was like, wow.
It's a different world out here.
Wow. Yeah, totally different world.
Yeah, nowadays they have like ID on your phone and stuff. You can just like, that's weird. I almost downloaded that the other day. I'm like, I don't know, but what am I hiding? They got everything. Anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm a veteran. They got everything everywhere. What are we
and
doing?
more.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Okay, all right. So are we fast forward until now? So then you got your card, you got your ID, and then did you like a quick jump to being a Budtender, or was it?
No, so I became a Budtender in 2021 as I think it was like January, as soon as the recreational dropped. It was busy as hell.
Yes, it was. I was a Budtender at the time.
They had no staff, basically. They needed more people, so I just went in there. I started kicking ass. I was winning in contests.
Hell yeah, way to go,
I was making people look at me like, how the hell is she doing it? Because I was at the station the furthest away from the door.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't getting all the poaching of that way. So I really had to draw people in from afar.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's a good point, bringing up the dynamics of budtending. Because I did it from like 2015 to about 2016 to about 22, 23, something like 22.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a lot of poaching. And then I loved being at a dispensary the first few months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everyone's excited and they're talking to you, especially me, because I do a lot of things. They just people happen to like some of the stuff that I do.
Right.
And they're excited for me and excited for the things that people that I talk to, hang out with, all the kind of stuff. I try to get people involved. But then at a certain point, after those first like 3 months, then they start looking at you like, why don't I have that? What is that? I don't have that. And then it just becomes a toxic ass environment.
No, it does.
So there's that I had to deal with. There's the poaching that everyone, just people just trying to take all the guests and or patients, dealing with that. Then me being a PTSD veteran, and I can't be like say anything to anybody because as soon as I say anything,
you're the scary man.
I'm a man and I'm violent. immediately, even though like 15 minutes before you were thanking me for protecting you in my service, but now you're scared of me. But there's a lot of stuff that budtenders deal with, and shout out to you, because it's a lot of stress, a lot of bullshit. But
what I didn't expect though was the emotional aspect, because you start helping people and they start telling you your stories, and it's like, wow, I'm really doing something to help with the problem. I'm helping people get off of alcohol. I'm helping people, get off of the opioids. So in that aspect, it's so rewarding. It's very rewarding.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you see some people who are regulars, or they start to trust you and, kind of come into you.
Yeah. I kind of treated it like waiting tables. I have my loyals. So they don't care. They'll wait 20 minutes for me to get to them. But I've developed a nice little crew. I even stole somebody from our Thunderbird location. So that was nice. The baby store had to do something, so I had to cause a ruckus a little bit, shake things up.
Be confident. We love that shit. No, I don't care. Just get better. That's what we tell each other when we're playing video games. People are like, oh man, I did that. Yeah, we'll get better.
Exactly. You just
it's all fun. Yeah.
Repetition.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You're good at your craft.
I try to be anyway.
And that's a very rewarding thing, that your the loyal customers come back and talk to you and stuff. That was I did like that a lot. I had a lot of people that would even follow me to different dispensaries, because I would leave if like I felt disrespected, or if they started sharing my tips.
Yeah.
That's stealing. Pay your people. Let the tips go to them. But
I have to say, though, I'm very fortunate that, I'm not one of the ones making $12 an hour, never going to get full time, never going to get a promotion. So I don't mind the tip pool, because if you don't contribute, like, you're not even on the team anymore. So everybody really works hard. There's a lot of stuff that gets done on the back end, the inventory things that I can't make my tips without you. So I'm okay with it. I wasn't a fan at first, but I'm okay with it.
I understand. But those people in the back, instead of getting those tips, the company should pay them that money, because it's not, I mean, I understand you're a very nice person, and you want to take care of everybody, and that's how they package it. That's how they packaged it to me. Like, don't you want to take care of your people? Like, but you're the company. Don't you want to take care of your people? No? Okay. That's why I'm leaving. But to each their own. And it's still a nice paying job and whatnot. I'm not saying that you're going broke.
No, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely paid well. I'm definitely paid well. I'm taken care of, So it's a mom and pop. I'm not working for corporate.
These are personal things within myself. I'm not trying to have anybody champion my thing. So whatever.
Well, it's good to put a real, the real lens over it, because I think, even people who don't have dispensaries in the area, maybe states, where it's not legal, or they look at, the idea of working at a dispensary and just think that's just very glamorized. And, there is a real life lens to it, where it's, a struggle like any job, and, has its downfalls, and it's little glimmers that keep you going and keep you there. And, that's, at the end of the day, a job, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Your boss sucks, sometimes,
sums it up pretty well.
Sometimes your boss sucks. Sometimes that's me.
So,
pays the bills.
I think we all have at some point.
No, I'm not saying that people aren't compensated fairly, but I just didn't agree with that, and that's a personal thing with me. But I'm glad that you're well taken care of. Yeah. I like it. All right. So with we were just talking last. We'll jump into the psychedelic thing real quick, but we were on the last episode with Marie, Anne-Marie, old pal Marie, Ganja advisor.
Yes, I love her. She's so sweet.
Oh, she spoke the world of you.
Yeah, she did. Absolutely. With the medical, is so that the whole industry is starting to collapse. What is your point of view within the dispensaries? Obviously, I mean, I'm not saying that your company's collapsing, but you can see like the medical people going down, the rec people going up, stuff like that.
There's so many people are like, oh, it's recreational, I don't need my card. And it's like, but the card offers you so many protections. You know, it helps protect you with some DUI stuff, you know. Even though the gun ownership is a little gray, because in the actual medical program, it was written as you can't be excluded from any other programs from any other resident. So that includes your firearms. However, if the feds come in, you're in some shit. People just...
If the feds come anyway, you're in some shit.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Right. I mean, I have so much weed in my room right now that I would just be like, okay, take me. I'm not going to fight you. But
Don't fight the feds. Not a good idea.
No.
Yeah.
I'll let my lawyer have a little chitty chat with them, and you know, I'm not saying nothing.
No, just chitty chat. No bitty bang bang.
Right. None of that stuff.
Yeah,
Don't
skibbity
resist.
skibbity bop.
You know. But yeah, it's collapsing, and it's also partly with testing. You know, labs who are falsifying things or letting different things slide through. You know, that directly affects the health of, you know, definitely the medical, but they only get a slap, like $1 million fine. Ooh, whip-de-doo.
Yeah, it's
like,
the problem is that those businesses shouldn't be for profit.
No.
They should be non-for-profits and regulated, because exactly what's happening is like people can go in there. Oh, my shit tested bad. Yo, stack of money. Hey, do it again. And then it comes back. And also, like, it's just so crazy how they test stuff in cannabis in Arizona real quick. Is like, I haven't grown myself, but I know the variances in all things, especially being a chef, having to know these different sciences and stuff on how to cook and atmosphere, temperature. But, oh shit, where did I go? PTSD brain.
You also smoke weed, that doesn't help, I'm sure.
The testing and the resubmitting of... Yeah,
and the stacks of money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit. I may come back with resubmitting, and I don't know. It just needs to, like, it needs to be more transparent and all this kind of stuff, because like you said, the more they kind of get away with things like that,
medical quality.
Yeah. It's just here. Okay, I'm back. So I haven't grown weed before, but I know the variants and all things. But with the buds and stuff, you can test the top bud, and it's going to test way different than that bottom bud or the mid bud or this bud and this. It's because it's like a living being. Everything is different on it and stuff. And then you're trying to test this, and you're only testing a very small portion of whatever it is. And I don't see anything about AZDHS is supposed to go through and do spot checks. Has anybody ever seen anything publicly posted about any spot checks?
No.
I
didn't even know they were doing them.
Exactly. Do they?
And I work in the industry, and I don't even...
No. I have seen AZDHS go to Health for Life and weigh their carts, because they were getting messed over with that at one point in time. That's for sure. The black label, all that stuff. I worked there at the time. But AZDHS is supposed to be going and doing spot checks on different things and whatnot. And I don't believe they're doing it. And what they should do is just like all the restaurant, like the news and stuff will go and they'll check, and then they'll post that shit and be like, here's all the violations.
That dirty dining.
But
I love dirty dining.
I
Not
know.
for like a dining aspect.
Right. Just to look at it.
Yeah, that helps make a decision.
It really does. And that's what it could do as well, is that those spot checks could help make the consumer's decision based on factual results of what they're spot testing or what they're looking for. And it just makes it a more safe environment, you know, for not only those working there, but those, you know, that purchase.
Right.
And then, I mean, and then still, then you have to worry, because I was a chef, like people like hear the inspectors come in and hurry up and clean up, but at least
it's clean.
At least you're pushing them to that standard.
Yeah. And some of the stuff is just like shit, you know, like, come on.
Yeah. And there's other things coming out where they can like literally deradiate or radiate the stuff to kill mold on bud that's already there. And then within the same machine, they then put into the atmosphere and have it absorb terps. Not even spray them. It has them like Bovita, basically. So you'll never be able to know. So it will be within the... Yeah. So your own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, it's getting
Making
crazy.
me rethink everything now.
It's getting
Go to a
crazy.
Questioning all my
knowledgeable
life.
Budtender.
Yeah.
Questioning all my life choices. All
No,
in a
you're
flash.
good. No, so there will always be craft in
Right.
it, but here's the thing with craft and people who own craft companies. There's only 2 ways to go with that. Or 3 ways. You're either going to fail or if you get successful, just be happy with the success that you have, or then you're going to have to sell out to a larger corporation conglomerate.
Right.
And then that's it. I hope we stay with the craft. If I get a craft company going, we're staying craft. I'm not trying to sell out to anybody. I just want to do the stuff. And all right, Trip Tales. It's all about
Yay.
psychedelic information, experiences, anecdotes, questions,
And go. Oh,
and sprint.
my first introduction, I was going through a really traumatic death. Basically, was trying to run my life into the ground. Didn't succeed because my friend gave me some mushrooms. We put on Labyrinth
Oh,
and we just chilled out. And then we found the baby on Facebook. So that was like a nice, interesting thing.
the what?
The baby in Labyrinth.
Oh, I didn't. What?
Yeah, we found him on Facebook. We were like, oh, what's his name? Let's go see. And it was just for shits and giggles. I was so high.
That's I'm gonna put that on the show.
It was like everything was breathing, and it was cool. I'm a big horror fan, so that movie didn't scare me. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, Labyrinth. Oh, are you talking like Pan's Labyrinth?
It's the one with the evil Muppets.
With the
Yeah. That's
oh,
where I
with
went, yeah.
with Dave.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Pan's Labyrinth with that thing with the eyes on his hands, or I don't know. It's and it's like in
Oh,
Spanish or
mhm.
something. I'm
Oh,
like,
It
no,
has
no,
like
no.
a-
They're
yeah,
totally
I see
different
the
thing.
cover. Yes.
thank you. Or like it's like this.
It's covering its eyes and has a hands and the eyeballs are in the palms.
Yeah, okay,
That's
sorry.
terrible.
He
Maybe.
had one.
Maybe.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, where it was like his hands were all wrapped up in like white tape. And
Oh
then
no,
it
this
had
is like
the-
a demon that
Yeah,
its
it's like
eyes
pink
are
or
on
red. Or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
crazy.
I'm gonna have to check
Really
it out
crazy.
now.
Different Labyrinth, completely different Labyrinth.
That was
I love
really
that other the David Bowie one.
it kind of really released a weight on my shoulders.
Oh, good.
And it just made me accept things easier. It wasn't necessarily made my life all better, but it did make things lighter to
Mm.
where I could put in the work. I could go to therapy. I could go to support groups, which was what I actually needed, not a whole bunch of drugs and
Right.
burning a hole in my pocket because server life, you make a couple $100 and the next thing you're buying a shit ton of Coke, you're going to the
Mhm.
bar, you're all of it. And then I would have to say last year, again, I had 2 friends die in a week. One was a fentanyl overdose.
Wow.
The other one was a
Oh.
ketamine overdose.
Wow.
So it was really wild. And I was really struggling because it was also the anniversary month of when my boyfriend died. And so I was getting
Goodness.
hit all
Mhm.
over the place. And ironically, after I had talked to you, hypothetically, somebody came in my store and he winded up being a teacher. And for some reason, I felt compelled to ask him for some shrooms. He's like, I don't sell them. I'll give them to you. I'll teach you how to grow. And he did. And
Wow.
it was a lot of fun. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I, did the petri dishes.
What's an expert? There's no such thing. It's just somebody who knows a bunch of shit, and I think you know a bunch of shit. You're an expert now.
Yeah.
Expert is a relative word.
I mean, like even down to the petri dishes, you cutting off the mold, starting it again, waiting until it's clean. It was just such a beautiful thing to watch it grow. All of it. It was just
I'm
really
excited to eventually do it myself.
Mhm.
I want to grow cannabis first, and then I'll get into that. But I have a cat, so I'm gonna have to get another place.
I have 2, so I get it.
He doesn't mess with anything, but I've never had weed plants or anything else, so I don't let's not play that game with her. But
Yeah, I brought like a tree leaf home and my cat was going nuts for it.
You've grown, do you have a favorite strain?
I don't necessarily have a favorite strain. I just loved it all. I just love the actual growing of it, the beauty of it, and it was just so relaxing, and it was just so calming. And being with the teacher, him putting those good vibes and those good energies, and very ritual in some of the things, and like putting good intention. And so it did help change my mindset of just being a little more present and not so expectant.
I like that. Psychedelics has done a lot of that for me, and the way I put it is put me to where I'm more objective than subjective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to put my bullshit into every situation. Yeah. That's so. It's. I kind of got goosebumps talking about that because I don't know if you the shrooms, and we all know here, but letting go is one of the best fucking feelings I have ever had, and it's so hard to do.
It's the hardest thing I've ever had to beat through.
But once you kind of get it down, that shit is fucking fire. Because nowadays I start to get sad or something. I'm like, just fucking ride it, dog. Because like we're at the top of this wave right now. We're gonna fucking barrel out, dog. Right. We're good.
Waves. You're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs, and you're gonna have your just whatever.
Psychedelics are so key, and for me to remove myself from from the shit, because it does. It definitely will get you introspective into your life for sure.
With him teaching me of just taking it, lay down in the dark, no sound, and just again, I would just be like, please, I would like to just have a freeing experience. I want my life to feel a little bit better. And doing that for a couple months, doing the microdosing, it just, I don't know how else to say it. It was just life-changing. And it was exactly what I needed at the exact moment.
Yes. That's dope.
I can really relate to that. Gone through trauma, and I've had similar experiences with deaths very close together, and just relationships that I don't ever solidly choose or pick, and that cause a lot of that trauma that just builds up and builds up and builds up, and you just really don't expect the way that it'll affect you in just different ways at random times, and the not only the emotions but your decisions and your outlook in life, and just being completely blocked off from even expecting the best in a way. You're just you already know you've experienced the worst. You felt that. That's the world. It's really hard to lift that lens without some sort of push that allows you to let go and allows you to be free in that way. And that's definitely relatable with what shrooms have done for me too.
Yeah.
Dope. I love it, everybody. But yeah, so
I need another session now, I think.
Of shrooms and stuff.
Just to like a fine tuning. Going to therapy, even if it's just once a year, to just do an inventory of everything going on. You have an objective person who has nothing to gain or lose, and can kind of guide you and just say, you're just kicking ass. Just keep going. But I think mental health gets overlooked so much.
And I do re-ups on I like to trip and have fun throughout my week, but that's also very much to turn off the stress of the week. It helps me get away from all that
in a positive way too, and not a destructive way.
And then multiple times a year when I feel it, still do therapy and all that stuff, but when I feel it, I'll go do a ketamine treatment, because it helps me a lot. That is the most effective for me and my PTSD. And I think a lot of veterans, if you're a reactive, impulsive kind of a person, that's the perfect thing for you, I believe, because it lets us sit back and address things again objectively instead of subjectively. So I'm glad you guys have found your stuff. But yeah,
I just really wish the government supported the military more.
They are, though. They're starting to.
But at what cost? How many people suffered for no damn reason?
But the big things that I look back on are like Agent Orange, stuff like that. Agent Orange was used as chemical warfare, and even though that it was against the Geneva Convention, they said they were just trying to kill the trees in the like Vietnam and stuff like that. But it was causing cancer and all sorts of stuff. But there's just so many things Think about being like not only the people that got affected on the ground, but you're in the vehicle putting that out. So everyone's getting affected anywhere that was around that kind of shit. So there's many things like that the government has been part of. So.
Yeah, no, I one of my bosses at a restaurant I worked at, he had Parkinson's from Agent Orange, and he said they were just they were using it like as almost as baths. They were like showering in it.
Oh.
It went so much further than just, oh, it's in the cockpit and you're exposed, it's on the ground. They were literally washing their bodies in it.
What the
and so that was a really big thing. And then cancer from radiation. I know another guy, he was just told, I think it was after Kennedy got shot, and they just dropped him off in the middle of the desert and said, if you see anybody, shoot him on sight. It was wild. It was wild.
That's insane. I won't go into a lot of things that I've done, but there's some crazy shit that happens. But psychedelics will help you get away from that stuff, and then also not just get away from it, but it helps you look at the things and address them, and then be able to move on in a healthy way.
Yes.
I used to look at it and be like, you don't bother me. I'm a tough. I'm a
badass.
And then you're sitting alone. You're like, I'm not so tough. So you just need to find the help and everything. What's tough to me is actually getting the help. I think you're stronger going to get the help than being weak. Sometimes when I was like, I felt too weak, which is not a bad thing. We all need to find our motivation in our own time and everything like that. But I was in a weaker state, and then now with coping mechanisms. Do you have any coping mechanisms that you use?
I think we're in
we'll go.
Trip Tales.
Sorry,
we'll save that for.
We'll save that into the next. Mental health as well. Like we said, the psychedelics is tied into that. I always talk about coping mechanisms, and what I do is counting and cleaning and organization. But that's when I'm feeling good. When I'm depressed, though, none of that shit happens. We're doing good now. It's all apartment's clean. Do you have any coping
mechanisms?
Thank you.
Gotcha.
That you would like to share with everybody? Maybe help out.
I definitely do therapy. I do it weekly. I've done it weekly for, I feel like it's been almost my whole entire life since I was like 12 or 13. That has been awesome. When it's the deep lows of the depression, what I just try to do is, again, take inventory. What is good in my life? What do I have? I have 2 great cats. I have a beautiful job, and just appreciating the small things in life. And then I would have to say, when it's almost like the manic ups, I don't know how else to explain it, but I do sometimes go into mania, and I try with the organization, the cleaning, the reading a book, because it just forces me to focus in on those words on the paper as opposed to the words in my mind. The words in my mind can't go when I'm reading. So I try to read as well.
Nice. Like when I'm doing math or trying to do some sort of organizational thing or something, I can't think about anything else. That's why I do that. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. That's he kind of gave me a little insight into what I do. Because again, I can control what's in front of me, and it lets me let go, or at least put that on pause. Dope. And because we got a lot going on nowadays, AI coming to take all the jobs. I'm okay with that. I'm not afraid of AI. I
It can be used for good.
I was there. I feel like I'm so old. I was there when the internet started. I was the one in the family that embraced that. I was the one who jumped on the thing. And I feel like that part has helped out my mental health as well, because I embraced it, and now I didn't keep myself behind and then get to a certain point and being like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing in this world anymore. Love you, Mom. Probably like my mom is right now. But anyway, she sends me emojis and stuff.
That's his mom.
Mom knows everything. We're not even live. Yeah, I don't know where I was going. But anyway, I want to jump in. My brain, I hit another pothole.
Like I said, the reading, the cleaning,
Yeah.
the organizing, the talk therapy, just not afraid to be vulnerable or, like, as you said, weak, because it takes great strength to admit that you need help or you're having problems, because sometimes somebody can give you those words like, oh, I can do it this way. You don't have to do it that way. And then sometimes it feels a little more manageable.
Yeah, because you keep telling yourself your own story. I mean, you can tell, your brain can tell you the same story every day. Your actions can say the same thing every day. And you can wake up and think, well, it's okay because yesterday was yesterday and today is today. And so I can follow the same story. I can make a difference. I can make a change. And that's hard to do on your own. You know, that's the strength that it takes to pull out of that routine and just say, you know, this isn't working for me, and breaking that pattern and that cycle and that way of thinking, and asking for the help to do that is, you know, it's the strength. And that's where therapy comes in. I'm new to the therapy journey. I'm going to be vulnerable for a second. I have my first appointment coming up in July, and it was very, very difficult for me to actually make the call. I've made the call. I've done the research and gotten the numbers and done the whole thing a bunch of different times. You know, I'm very thankful to have the insurance that I do that covers, you know, a certain amount of free sessions or so. And it's very accessible to me. And I'm one of those people that take that for granted, because I'm just very nervous and very scared to even just approach some of those topics and just to open the vault. You know, like there's a vault, and I don't need the code. I don't need the key. I'm okay with it just being there. I just want to look at it. You know what I mean? But to talk through it and to talk about it in therapy, that is something that I find admirable that you've done throughout your lifetime.
It wasn't necessarily because I wanted to. I was in a group home. So it was on site. I didn't have a choice. It was, no, you're going to sit in this room. And even though I didn't actively participate, I took it in. So I have always had the tools. It's just implementing the tools. But having a great relationship, finding somebody that you're comfortable. You might have to go through 5 people. And that's okay, because you need to feel safe. You need to feel not gaslit, because so many people will be like, oh, no, it's hormonal, you know?
Right.
No, you're not in pain, or just because you're depressed or anxiety. It's no, you're hormonal. You're overreacting. You're just make sure you find somebody. Don't give up.
Take your time with that. I've even had a therapist I met her one time. She was always late. She was argumentative, and she ended up yelling at me and stuff within a session. I'm like,
oh wow.
I'm like, you're
triggering as fuck. Absolutely not. We're hanging up. I'm leaving.
I'm like, I'm like, you need help, lady, because you got to be crazier than me to be yelling at a veteran in a locked room, in a small room
with PTSD.
With a veteran with PTSD in a small room. I'm gonna go ahead and leave. You can go fuck yourself. She's like, I'm like, ma'am, and she followed me out, yelling at me the whole time. I'm like, ma'am, you just need to get away from me.
And I would have reported her.
Oh, I did. No,
I
did. I reported her. I reviewed the shit out of her online. She had very little stars. That made sense. A lot of people have gone through the same thing. She had tried to talk to me about another patient, and I told the board about their HIPAA violations, all sorts of stuff. She's no longer a therapist.
Good.
I
She
got her
doesn't
the
need to
help.
be.
I got her the help she needed.
Right. A
but
new job, a new
yeah,
career.
Go
Not
home.
working.
Go
Yeah.
home.
Mhm.
People too. So therapists need therapy too. So I think it's a little just take your time, find your person. I've gone through quite a few, and I'm now in a search for another one because the VA took away my therapist because they don't do talk therapy because the VA sees it. So rejoice in what you have with yours. What I have is a conditional thing. Is like they want it to be like 1 + 1 = 2. You're healed. Goodbye. Whatever.
Mhm.
Shit don't work like that.
Right.
I'm never gonna be healed. It's
Right.
gonna be healing forever, never healed. Like she said, take your time. Don't worry about it. I'm proud of you. Way to
Thank
go.
you.
Proud of all of you that go to therapy. If you're not,
Yes.
try
Anyone
it.
who's made that step, done the
I'm even
research
looking
calls.
into BetterHelp so I can do stuff at home because I'm very busy.
I've heard mixed things about BetterHelp, especially with them using AI. And everybody that's on there might not actually be a licensed therapist. I would just say be careful with that. Maybe look into like Teledoc.
Oh, so my preference is video.
You can do video too with
No,
Teledoc.
I'm just saying BetterHelp. Like I was gonna do video.
Oh, I'm picking up.
You just chat. We're not. I need to see you. I need to see you and stuff like that. Thank you though. But what was it called again? I'll throw that up there. BetterHelp, and then we'll throw up. What was yours?
Teledoc.
I'm gonna put it in the edit. Oh yeah, awesome. All right. Do we have anything else we wanted to share about mental health? All right. Plug Talk is all about promo. Did you want to go ahead and promote yourself? Like if you want people to find you on IG or anything, or
So on Instagram, I am Budtender Diaries, aka Violet Marie Young. Long story, don't worry. but yes, and you can always come see me at 44th and Thomas at the Yilo Arcadia store.
heck, dope. Thank you for that. We've had a long week. You see this, Bel Air. Shout out Bel Air. Also, I think we're gonna maybe do something in the future with one of the homies that is tied into them. It doesn't really have to do with this brand, but Matty Ice will be back on here, I believe, the 28th of July, and he's got some different. I could have tore it their way, and he's got. I'm just taking all this shit off. He's got a rap competition coming on, and we're gonna hopefully be at the show and stuff like that. Do like a cross promotion kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Everybody, watch your head.
Popping bottles.
Just do like
Popping
a
bottles.
twist.
I'm a chef.
Listen, restaurant too, so it's
Yeah.
just you can't help it. Be like,
Yeah.
oh,
No,
no, no, no.
You're
Right.
good. You're good. There we go. There we go. All right, and if we could get the glasses, please,
Yeah.
and then we'll go ahead and start shouting people out and whatnot.
Thank you.
I'll take care of you. I have the biggest glass. I don't. Do you have?
Looked better balanced on the table. And I only have 2 of the smalls.
Yeah, one. Did you want a glass?
No, I'm okay.
Thanks.
Gotta remember to enjoy yourself. This life's short. Bubbles are long.
All right, who's doing the toast?
I don't know.
All
We'll
right,
do it all together.
This is a lot.
I got one. If you
All right,
don't.
let's do it.
Shit.
Are you
Okay.
ready?
All right.
To new friends, to old friends, and everybody in between. Cheers.
Here,
Cheers.
here. Mhm.
Fire.
Mhm.
With that, I want to shout out all the viewers like you.
For subscribers
So-
like you.
For subscribers like you, thank you very much. We also, this is also celebrating our 3rd sponsor. If you want to be a sponsor, you can go check us out. This version of our website is desktop on your laptop or whatnot, but it has a mobile version too. Go check it out at www. I don't know how many W's I said. thehealingchefspodcast.com. That's thehealingchefspodcast.com. There, if you scroll all the way down, there's merch and stuff, but the sponsors are there close to the top. We'll have Budtender Diaries and all this stuff, their links and stuff on the guests coming up this week. We're going to have, on Tuesday, we're going to have 2 premieres. I'm going to maybe see if Old Pal Marie can actually do Wednesday, but maybe Tuesday, both of the premieres. I don't know where I'm also at with the shout outs. Shout out to Old Pal again. Shout out to pharmastop.us. Go on their site. Use the code Healing Chefs, all one word, the Healing Chefs, pharmastop.us. Shout out RJ Shroomery. Shout out the third sponsor, Ken Dog Smoked Seeds. We're going to have the giveaway going on 7/10. Bunch of different people throwing in on that. Sin City Seeds, Earth Rhythm, Santa Cruz homies. Shout out Hollywood Betty. Everybody. Shout out Barry Entertainment. But what else do we have coming up, though, before we get out of here? Let me look and see what we have going on next week. I believe I already talked to the people. Let's see. So 7th is Dirty Cola at Dirty Cola on Instagram. He's not here, but does quite a bit of different reels and stuff, talking about some serious things that we all kind of went through a couple of years ago, especially with opiates and whatnot. Something good to talk about. And also next week is High Grade. High Grade episode is coming up next week. I'm super excited about that because we're also in talks with Tiki Man, getting him on here as well. So really good.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So here we go, folks. Tap in, smoke up, drink some bubbles.
Trip out.
Trip out. Love you all. We're out of here.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?